Call of Duty. Millions have made a hobby out of playing it, and legions have made a hobby out of hating it. But whichever side of that particular team deathmatch you fight for, you have to admit Call of Duty is a sucker for a touch of celebrity.
And that's where I come in.
Its latest release, Advanced Warfare for instance, memorably featured Kevin Spacey's Advanced War face in pretty unnerving detail.
Give me a break.
Now, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare's first DLC pack, Havoc, has been released into the wild, bringing with it Exo-Zombies, the latest iteration of the much beloved mode, and an all-new, all-star cast of zombie killers. In Havoc, you can blast away as John Malkovich, Rose McGowan, Bill Paxton, or The Walking Dead's John Bernthal.
Want some more?
There's no word yet on whether Bill Paxton shouts "Game over man, game over" when you die in Exo-Zombies, but I really hope he does. So in celebration of Activision's eerily detailed character models, here's a fistful of gaming's most famous faces from Uncanny Valley.
I fucking hate the Atlas Corporation.
Now, while John Malkovich is playing a janitor called Oz in Exo-Zombies, famous people often get drafted in just to play themselves, basically making their appearance a big old in-joke. Hang on, let's try and find a good example.
Burt Reynolds?
Yeah, he'll do. Burt Reynolds is introduced to players in Saints Row III as the mustachioed mayor of Steelport, who has a very interesting take on how to conduct a meeting.
I got a zombie problem that I want.
Wait, a what problem?
Oh hey, Mr. Malkovich, you're not the only one. All in all, the Saints Row scene is an undeniably silly take on Reynolds' professional reputation, a tongue-in-cheek cameo not all games manage to get right. Take Bruce Lee in EA Sports UFC for instance. You can unlock the late founder of Jeet Kune Do in-game by either paying money or completing career mode on hard. The character model is undoubtedly great, but is it just me that thinks there's something a bit strange about being able to unlock a man who died tragically young and then beat him into submission? I get that he was a world-renowned martial artist, and some say the father of MMA, but it just feels a bit wrong. But while we're on the topic of world-renowned artists...
Phil, mate. Phil Collins.
Grand Theft Auto is famous for having a killer soundtrack no matter which release it is, but unless you played Vice City Stories, you might not know Phil Collins authorised Rockstar to use his voice and likeness in the game itself. Or at least, I assume he did, otherwise Rockstar might find itself sudio. Sorry.
Barry, are you in hock to gangsters?
Of course, famous faces aren't always crowbarred into video games for the sake of fan service. Sometimes they're asked to perform in fully fledged roles central to the plot. You know, acting. Beyond Two Souls, for instance, featured Ellen Page and Willem Dafoe, playing a woman with a connection to the dead and a paranormal researcher, respectively. With the help of some motion capture along the way, both actors were very faithfully represented. Ellen Page, though, may not be keen to do another video game for a while, after some cheeky individuals used a PS3 debug kit to break the fixed camera angles in Beyond and take pictures of her character Jodie naked in the shower. Far from ideal. But hey, Ellen Page at least gets an honourable mention as the best actor to appear in The Last of Us, despite never having signed on to the project. So that's nice. Now, we couldn't get away with this video without giving L.A. Noire at least a passing mention. Sticking Mad Men's Aaron Staton in the starring role as Detective Cole Phelps, L.A. Noire took the existing benchmark for expressive facial animations in games and punted it a few hundred yards upfield. This was fortuitous, given most of Cole's detective work involved reading people's faces to see if they were lying. It was a great mechanic, though if you left characters stewing long enough for the facial animations to loop, frankly things got a little silly. Anyway, that's enough of that. To round us off in this celebrity shortlist, we're coming back to Call of Duty's zombie mode.
For God's sakes, he missed me again!
For some special zombie killing action in Call of Duty Call of the Dead, George A. Romero was drafted in not as a playable character like Sarah Michelle Gellar or Danny Trejo, but as the father of all zombies, armed with a massive stage light that doubled as a warhammer. It's pretty fitting when you think about his career as the definitive zombie movie maker, but super weird when you think about how one day he will actually be dead, and then dipping into that mode will make for some super awkward gameplay.
Ow!
See?
So, do these uncanny cameos fill you with joy, or are they just a pointless distraction? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below, and if you enjoyed this video, do please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.
Get back to hair and makeup. You don't look dead enough.